All right, and we're live. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I am Ethan Van Sciver, 26-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, elegant, and eloquent man. Oh, and humble. I forgot humble. Uh, number one. Well, I'm not number one Star Wars fan. I couldn't possibly be, but great big Star Wars fan. Let's see if we can get some people in here. Let me get all set up. Did you hear that? That was literally my lamp falling down and knocking over Jabba the Hutt. Not the Jabba the Hutt that I'm still waiting for. A littler Jabba the Hutt. When January is over, I will have 3 Jabba the Hutts, 3 of them of various sizes. Hi everyone. All right, we got some people coming in now. 192 people. Let's see what we can do. Brennan Pitt says EVS is sunshine and love. It's true. I am. How are you? Alan Glass says, I am so sick of lying piece of pros, the S word, pulling crap. Kick Piggy's butt, dude. Oh, yeah. So having a fight right now on Twitter with Dave Johnson. Let me share this. He might want to come in here. He's not going to come in the chat, but he might want to watch this. Unlike the rest of the comic book industry, I don't talk behind people's backs. I'm very upfront about the things that I say. I don't get involved in whisper network campaigns of destruction. I don't do anything like that. If I have something to say, if I offer some criticism of somebody, I actually say it where everyone can hear it. And I'm prepared to receive counter criticism. That's what being an adult is. That's what being a man is, Gillette. Being a man. Well, you actually do want to, make your ideas known, be honest, be upfront, and be prepared for any kind of feedback that you're going to get. And, I do try to do that. So that's what we do here. Dave Johnson, I don't even remember how this started. Dave Johnson, I think, criticized my my Gillette video. How did this happen? Do you guys remember? Sith Lord Luke Skywalker says, this works, prove it, LOL. And awig 81003 says, why is he called Reverend? Obviously ironic. Why is he called Devil Pig 666? There's a weird thing in comics, like SJWs are ironic Satanists. I don't know if you've noticed that, but they are, like, they kind of join satanic temples and things like that and brag about being Satanists because they think it triggers Christians. They think Christians are simpletons. They think Christians are stupid people. And if they just say, hey, I worship Satan, Christians are going to have a conniption fit. They have a very weird, cartoonish view of the world. I'm going to put this out to ComicsGate live, and let me see who else. So that's why they do it. I mean, in essence, they just kind of want people to be offended in a weird way. Let's see what goes on here. Okay. I mean, I'm not weaponized in here. No problem. All right. I just put out the call. We'll see if anybody shows up and wants to join us for ComicsGate Live tonight. But in any case, yeah, like, all right. So if you're new to the channel, and you're new to me and you're not really sure who I am, if you just think of me as Uncle Ethan or Caesar or the world's most charming man, you might not be aware that, over the past couple of years, ever since Trump was elected. Hi, sweet cast. Welcome.
Hey, thanks, Ethan.
Yeah, you bet. It's good to have you here. So I'm talking about what's going on Twitter right now.
Yeah, I was just listening, actually.
Okay, good. I'm glad to have you on this show. But anyway, in case you don't know, after Trump was elected, the comic book industry, which was always, kind of trembling on the verge of far left-wing insanity, tipped over the edge. Now, I was so proud of my vote for Donald Trump. I was so proud that he won. I remember voting for him. I came out of the voting booth and was just like, oh, that felt good. It felt good to vote for Trump. It just felt great. And so I was proud of it. And I talked about it on Twitter, and I'm telling you, the reaction I got from my peers in the comic book industry. Antonio, hello.
Hey, what's going on? What's cracking?
Not much. Just hanging out here tonight. Just having a conversation with our friends. That's what we do. 501 viewers right now and building. How are you?
It's been a good day, sir.
Yeah. Good. Anyway, listen, Antonio, this thing started where my fellow pros decided that they were going to really come after me. And they started spreading rumors that I was a Nazi, that I collected Nazi memorabilia. Somebody said that. I have zero Nazi memorabilia.
I've
zero.
heard that one as well, actually. Yes, that one's been going around for a while.
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't know where you get Nazi memorabilia. I do collect things. I have a matchbook from the Senator McCarthy campaign that says I agree with McCarthy's methods, and I think that's pretty funny. So I have that, but I don't have any. I don't have any Nazi stuff. Who would have Nazi stuff? So in any case, oh, you know what it is? Oh, by the way, hi Ben.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Hey, dude.
Hey, good.
Doing good. All right, so here's the Nazi thing. So I went to Germany, and I went to the wall, like the what's it, Checkpoint Charlie?
The Berlin Wall.
Berlin Wall, yeah. Like there's a point where you can go and you could go see Checkpoint Charlie, and you can see the gate. Essentially, it's still there, but obviously the wall has been torn down, and now pieces of the wall are collector's items. So the wall just doesn't exist. But you can go there and just see where Americans, and it's an interesting spot, and they have souvenir shops. And at the souvenir shop, you can buy a Russian hat. Okay, so it's like if you were a gatekeeper at Checkpoint Charlie, the Russian soldiers there had these caps. So I bought one of those, and they thought it was a Nazi hat.
It was a communist hat, though, right?
It was a commie hat.
Oh, they should love it. They should love it.
You're right. They should be celebrating it.
Far left wing commie hat. So I guess that was, these people are historically illiterate, obviously. But in any case, this meme went around that I was a Nazi. Really kind of started with this guy Dave Johnson, and Dave Johnson is a very respected comic book professional. I think I saw his work when he was working for Eric Larson, coincidentally. You notice how these people all kind of group together? Like they're always together, these SJWs. Hi, Ava. Hello, John.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you guys are saying.
We'll catch you up. We'll catch you up. John, Dave Johnson came after me today.
Oh man.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. So in any case, Dave really started this. Like Dave used to follow me around on Facebook, and not only that, like who was it? Donald? Was it Donald DeLay or Kelsey? No, I think it was Kelsey Shannon, who told me that like years and years ago, he was walking around a convention floor with Dave Johnson, and I was sitting there, behind my booth with like tons of fans signing on, like I always do when I'm in a convention, big long lines. I'm not Richard Pace. I actually have people who come to see me. And so I'm there, and Kelsey goes, "Oh, that's Ethan Van Sciver," and Dave goes, "Stay away from him. He's a far right wing lunatic." So like Dave has been kind of promoting this idea against me for a long time, and it's gotten out to me. People have let me know. So in any case, he decided to spread this idea that I was a Nazi. He started it. It kind of got pushed around. He just kind of admitted it today. He's like, "Look, I just pointed out your Hitler, the Mein Kampf sketchbook. Other people drew their own conclusions and spread it around." What a coward. What an utter coward. Like, you should just say at this point, just be like, "You know what? I'm sorry." All right. I mean, even with the wealth of evidence that you've been provided at this point, that like, the sketchbook, first of all, it was Moose Bauman's idea. And second of all, the reason why it came to be was because we were having an argument, or we were having a funny discussion about what the worst possible thing to call your San Diego Comic-Con sketchbook should be. Like, it's the opposite of evidence that I am a Nazi. It's the opposite of evidence.
Well, they're projecting, right? They believe in dog whistles. Like there's some sort of like secret code that you're spreading out to everybody, when it's just, I mean, I take it as a joke. It was a funny title.
Especially when the other person involved said, "I did it and I had to apologize, and I've apologized repeatedly." Come on. Come on, that's it. End of story.
I mean, this is first of all, this was yeah. Moose said it was me. He, you know, and Moose, by the way, was asked again, and apparently Moose said no, no, no. You know,
Oh yeah, now it
I
changed.
kind of backtracked on his story a little bit, but I do remember us having a discussion where I was like, we got to title the sketchbook, and I want it to be like the worst name possible. And so yeah, it was Moose's idea and Moose's whole thing that he set up, and he's a leftist. He did it because he was kind of pointing fun at me. He's like, ha ha ha, you know, you're a Republican, so. This was in 2007 when things weren't so bad. And I mean, you know, you would make jokes about Nazis all the time. You'd make jokes about Hitler. Like I think I said one time, I was just like, you know, if I had raised Adolf Hitler, I would have taught him to use his words. He would have been called Adolf Talkler instead of, you know, stupid. Like people just made jokes like that all the time.
Yeah,
and it
there was
wasn't
like a moment when it was just a thing. It was like a fad for a bit to go and make all these obscure jokes about it, you know?
Right. Of course. It's normal. I mean, you know, but SJWs are creating a culture where, you know, everybody's afraid. Like, and people are afraid. People are afraid of, like, comedians are afraid of what kind of jokes they can make. And people are just afraid of saying the wrong thing, getting out of line. You know, this is the world that SJWs are creating. And I just, you know, I don't know what's in store for me. I really don't know, but I'm not going to buckle under to this. I'm just not.
You can't apologize. It only makes it worse. Every time somebody like Donnie Cates, for example, and not that he stood up a lot, but once you like turn back, they'll eat you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody hates my Adolf Talkler joke, but other people are saying Adolf Hugler.
Well, they say that Hitler did use his words.
Yes, he did, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. So maybe the joke doesn't work.
No.
But in any case, like, this is the thing. We can't. I don't think anybody wants to live in this world. John Malin doesn't want to work and live in a world that's dominated by weird SJW scolds who tell you. I mean, you know, this is all kind of coming together. If you're actually paying attention to the culture and the way things are kind of going, everything is starting to kind of present a picture of, you know, basically a lack of permissiveness. Like you have to kind of think twice about every little thing that you used to be able to do with no problem, because people with disingenuous motives, people acting out of bad faith, are just looking for some way to hurt someone. Because here's the thing, accusations. It's all about accusations. It's all about making an accusation. Accusations. Here's the thing: the psychological effect of making an accusation is actually rewarding on the accuser. It's a subtle thing. I want you to think in your brain and think about, like, how you feel about a person saying, "This person here is, I don't know, you know, a rapist or whatever it is." Think about your effect. Like, immediately you hold that person, the person making the accusation, in some esteem, because the person making the accusation has to be benevolent in some way. He has to be free from any blame. He wouldn't be, if he were a rapist, he wouldn't be calling someone else a rapist.
Right.
You know, that
person that brought them to justice is a
exactly.
Good person. Sure.
He's a good person. You have good feelings towards accusers. So SJWs have created this culture where being an accuser and accusing someone is such a rewarding thing that it motivates other people to do the same thing. And the end effect of that, the end result, is that everybody walks around on eggshells around each other and they're afraid. John Malin, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, you can't say hello to a female on the street. You can't call someone sweetie. Not to mention, I don't know about everyone else. I can't tell you how many times, you know, I've been called sweetie by women, and I've never thought twice about it.
That is one of the worst terms ever. That is,
yeah. Thanks, sweetie.
Sweetie should not be used.
Yeah, sweetie, honey, hun. I mean, you know,
oh my God,
these are just strangers. Yeah, it's just strangers, you know,
Yeah.
but
this is a humble brag from John, by the way. This is a big humble brag.
Yeah. These are things that people say to each other to be kind.
Yeah,
they're not meant, you know, as, you know, it's some kind of an assault.
They're supposed to be niceties.
Yes.
Well, so So we gotta. I mean, this is the thing. So being an accuser, the rewards of accusing people, the benefits of accusation. I mean, it's something that actually needs to be thought about a little bit more. I don't hear people talking about it, but there is a lot to it. I mean, there's a lot to it. It's a very rewarding thing to be able to point the finger. And not only that, anyone who actually is being accused, just subconsciously, I mean, people just automatically kind of believe the person being accused. It just happens automatically. We don't trust them, or else they wouldn't be being accused right now.
They pick nice people to accuse too. Like I'm thinking of Peter Simeti over the past probably 3 days now. They've been relentless on him, accusing him of white supremacy, even though he's I mean, he's half Chinese. And they'll just, I don't know, they just pile on people. They'll pick new targets, and I don't understand what kind of sick person you have to be to get joy from that.
Well, it's not necessarily joy from the accusation itself. You're just looking to feel like a good person. You're looking to feel like a better person and to be held in esteem by your peers. And that accusation goes a long way towards that. Michael Johnson Curry says, can I get a shout out for my comic Zane and the Diesel Crew on Indiegogo? All right, check out Zane and the Diesel Crew from Michael Johnson Curry. So that is, you know, that's the thing. You're going to see a lot of that in the culture now. You're going to see a lot of it, and you're going to see a lot of people kind of stepping in to sort of monitor your behavior, to hold you back from this or that, to basically point out your mistakes. I mean, again, you know, the Gillette commercial, it's so stupid that like the Gillette commercial is a cultural touchstone, but it is. It's this important thing in the culture war.
You're trying to get us through our shaving cream. Our shaving cream, man. Leave me alone in the bathroom. Gillette.
What does Malin think of that commercial? I haven't heard him really talk about it.
You know, I actually started making a video on it, but it just ended up taking a lot of my time. But I think it's ridiculous. I think they took things that were, you know, something that would be serious, like, you know, clearly a gang of kids running down another kid. I mean, that is a definite bad thing. But someone talking to another person at a party and calling them sweetie and equating these things as in, well, here's one really bad thing. This is equal to that. Whether you're saying sweetie, you know, hello, it was just complete ridiculousness. And then they play it off for everyone that's gone and complained about it, said, well, maybe you're the problem if you're complaining about the ad. And it's like, well, these aren't fair comparisons of what you're doing at all. You know, the behaviors here, and not to mention, you know, the rows of barbecue. I mean, you know, it's like an attack on middle class, but I understand that because I think most SJWs come from a middle class background. So they have to attack their fathers, or what they see as, you know, suburbia. And yeah, I mean, that whole commercial was pretty disgusting. And then, you know, today on Twitter, I saw someone posting another Gillette ad, which had a bunch of women in bathing suits and it had Gillette on their butts.
Yeah. I like that one better. I don't know. That makes me want to buy razors a little bit more. But I mean, look, check it. I mean, here's where we're at right now. Get woke, go broke. This is today's stock for Procter and Gamble, and it's, you know, it's continuing to kind of go down. I do think that's gonna carry on as well. So in any case, you know, this is we're creating a culture. We're inviting a culture of scolds, of accusers. We're inviting witch hunts, and I don't know. I don't really know if it's worth it. I'm not sure if if this short-term dopamine hit that these people are getting out of pure hatred, I don't know if it's going to pay off in the end. I just don't feel like it's going to. So I asked Dave Johnson. I said, just, you know, what exactly is your accusation? Spell it out. And he's like, I just told people what they already knew. I was like, what's that? And he's just like, that you put out a sketchbook and they ran with it. Oh, what a coward.
I know, terrible.
What a coward.
Admit.
You know, just say, you know what? You're not a Nazi. I don't know. Sorry. You're still a dick. You're not a Nazi. I would have been like, fair enough. That's, why, you want, Gillette does commercials about being a man and masculinity, and we don't touch on things like that. We don't talk about, what it actually means to be a man, which is to sometimes put down your pride and admit when you're wrong, even if it's to someone that you don't like. I mean, just admit that you're wrong, apologize, and try to move on. We don't have to be friends or anything like that.
Bill Sankovich.
Yeah.
He owes me an apology.
Never.
Why does he owe you an apology?
Because I was talking about him drawing people's heads in bullseyes, and he said that I was a liar. And then I posted the picture of Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah, he did do that.
He disappeared.
He denied it?
Yeah, he denied it. Yeah, it was a whole ordeal like 2 months ago. Yeah. Still waiting, Bill.
Yes. Bill dealt with the election by drawing really cruel caricatures of everybody involved with the Trump administration. I was like, wow, that's a lot of personal angst to work out. But I think I drew Obama a couple times too,
Well, I mean, look, he goes around calling people misogynist, but then he's the one drawing an actual factual woman's head in a bullseye and writes above it most punchable face, and goes and attacks his, what I can only imagine to be a 70 or 80-year-old aunt, because the dude's like 50 or 60 years old himself, and then goes on to a public tirade against his own aunt because she's a Trump supporter.
Yeah, I did see that. That was weird, man.
Yeah, but we're going to be the misogynists. But I mean, it's such a weird thing that they do. As long as they call other people these things, then they can be these things,
right?
Without punishment, without having to face any consequences for their own actions.
I'm so glad we're the better people.
Yeah. For a year ago, the Richard Pace types always, kept coming and telling me, he won't even apologize, talking about Richard for anything he says. Won't even apologize. Now Richard has apologized, has bent over backwards. I keep asking, where's the apology for blowing up all us vets? Where's the apology? Where's the reciprocal apology now? Nothing.
Yeah. Did you say Richard Pace? I think you meant Richard Meyer.
No. Pace would say that Richard Meyer was a horrible person because he wouldn't apologize.
And Richard has apologized, much to my chagrin.
But the Richard Paces of the world have not apologized, right?
Yeah, no, he won't. Richard Pace is, he's treading on thin ice as it is.
Or whoever said, "Hey, let's blow up all the vets," right? Or all the employers who applauded it.
Yeah. Who was that? Who was it that said, "I wish Richard stepped on an IED"?
Yeah, horrible.
But Michelle Perez.
Yeah,
God, everyone's nuts.
Who's he working for?
Image. It's
horrible.
Yeah. Everyone's nuts. And, the industry is, this word toxic gets thrown around so much. But, it is toxic. It is toxic. Yeah. I had Dave going around saying, the other thing Dave was saying today was like, Ethan goes around acting like the victim, saying he's blacklisted from comics. I don't think I have ever claimed to be blacklisted from comics. You guys, you're going to have to check my math. I don't think I've ever said that, not even once. Other people tell me I'm blacklisted from comics. I insist that I'm not blacklisted from comics. I don't believe in a blacklisting. What I do believe is possible is that, SJWs can get together and deplatform you or, take or ruin a business opportunity. And they certainly did do that. SJWs mobilized with, one writer in particular that encouraged other writers to get revenge on me for voting for Trump by all of them telling DC Comics that they weren't going to work with me. Now, these were all writers that I had no plans on working with ever. I had writers that I had lined up and everything like that. But that was their statement to DC. And I didn't even find out about that until like months and months after I'd left DC Comics. Oh yeah, all these writers got together and said, "You're an asshole and we won't work with you." I didn't know that.
You also got sent a butthole pic.
I got sent a butthole pic.
it's disingenuous for any of them to say, every industry and every company has a form of a blacklist. That people that, hey, you're in the industry, it's known not to work with this person at this company, they're never getting hired again. So for them to say, oh no, never, I mean,
no, but he's saying that about me in particular, and then it's like, well, I mean, either that's true or that isn't true, but you SJWs have to make up your mind. In my experience and my feeling and knowing what I know, I'm in no way blacklisted. I could go back to DC Comics and go work for DC Comics tomorrow. All I need to do is find the right editor and find the right project. But frankly, anybody who did not hire me would be an idiot. I mean, they would be. It would be practical. It'd be malpractice, not to hire me. I make money for companies. I've never said that. They're saying that, and they really need to kind of get their message together. I mean, either they think I'm blacklisted and they want to tell people that I'm blacklisted in order to scare conservatives from opening their mouths, or they want to say Ethan is playing the victim and he says he's blacklisted, but he's not blacklisted. That's all bullshit. And that's because Ethan is playing the victim. You figure it out. But I mean, I've always said the same thing over and over again. I've said, look, I am not going back to Marvel and DC. I'm never. Marvel is the one company I'm fairly sure I'm blacklisted from. I got to be honest about that. I've got to be blacklisted at Marvel. I've got to be, for so many reasons.
Ethan's playing the victim. Send him another butthole pic.
Yeah, poor me. No, I've got to be blacklisted at Marvel for a couple of reasons. One of which is that they offered me $50,000, something close to that, for a signing bonus to come be exclusive for them a few years ago. And I went to DC and got a better deal. And so they were pissed. Joe Quesada and Bendis were arguing about me. They were like, Bendis was like, I knew he was like that. And Joe was like, I told you on Twitter. So, I mean, I could be blacklisted for that, but also because I'm, when it comes to DC, they've treated me right. And I think they're doing a pretty good job. There are a few things that they're doing, obviously, that are a lot sketchy. But for the most part, they've kind of contained SJW. Marvel is full on SJW. I consider that company to be gone at this point. Just be gone.
Yeah.
And I say so all the time. So I can't imagine. I'm probably blacklisted at Marvel. Come to think of it. Can you imagine me calling up Tom Brevoort and asking for work when I called him a shaved Ewok? And a fedora.
You should report it.
Yeah. Hey, Ben Pichetti says DC sent EVS 16,000 for Justice League. Wrong, dude. It was more than that. That was just the first. That was the first part.
Oh shit. Oh.
Yeah. They sent me a 6-figure check after that, right before Christmas.
Damn.
It was incredible, dude. I was like, thank you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah. Most of it goes to taxes when that happens. It sounds a lot better than it actually ends up being.
Yeah,
but,
taxes, they sure take it.
Yeah. But it was cool. So in any case, yeah, that is the thing. I'm not a victim. I don't claim to be a victim. Wait a second. Let me rephrase that. I don't claim to be a victim. I don't talk about being a victim. But I'm manifestly a victim. I mean, men don't like to be victims. I don't want to talk about being a victim. The masculinity that Gillette should be talking about is how we really just don't like being victims. Men don't like to be victims. We don't like to think of ourselves as victims. We don't like to whine about it. Not real men. That's not what masculinity is about. But that doesn't mean that you aren't one anyway. And I think that I've been persecuted enough and hounded by these weirdos, persecuted, harassed, bullied, that it's fair to say that I'm pretty much a victim of SJWs and comics.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you look at Hollywood, everyone knows it's a complete open secret that if you're a conservative over there, look, you can be over there, but you got to keep your mouth shut. It's the exact same thing going on at comics is, look, you can have conservatives in there, but for the most part, outside of a few exceptions, shut your hole. They don't want to hear it. And when you do speak out, then like I said, then you get the butthole pics. And where's the outcry on someone like Ethan's behalf? Because if Ethan was a female, it would have been through the roof SJW insane, female liberal specifically. It doesn't happen. And the whole industry is just like ho-hum about it. And that's because in this case, he's a conservative. That's it.
Yep.
Could you imagine if it was a woman that got one of those butthole pics?
Oh, that would have been a whole different story. Whole different story.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat.
Look what they did with Heather Antos, because someone did a close-up of her in a sweater.
In a sweater. Oh my God.
Heather's back at Valiant. Heather Antos is at Valiant. First of all, Heather Antos and I have had very nice interactions together. I've spoken to her in private. She's been nothing but professional to me, at least on one-on-one interactions. You know what I mean? But I've seen what she did to Zach. I saw all this. I watched it all happen. I have to admire her. She is someone who is a victim who exploits her victimhood. I mean, this is somebody who exploits victimhood to get somewhere. Jude in the chat says, "I'm not a victim, but I'm a victim." Quote EVS. Yeah, no, I just mean I don't identify as a victim, but I am manifestly a victim. I'm not going to walk around and say, "Help me," because I'm a victim. I want to succeed because of hard work. That's all. Hey, Weaponized Nerd Rage is here. How are you, Weaponized Nerd Rage?
I'm holding it together.
Okay. I saw some drama today. This is going to be a drama chat tonight, guys.
Oh,
Yay!
All right. So I'm going to see if I can get Donald in here. Wep, do you care?
I only have so long I can have my voice. I was in the ER this weekend.
What the hell is up with your voice? I thought you were just sitting down or something, and that's why you were talking like that.
I had like severe bronchitis, and it fucked up my throat, and I pulled every muscle in my back.
Oh no!
from coughing.
Yeah, from coughing. And I spent the weekend in the emergency room.
Yeah, my mother-in-law has like the same thing going on right now. Back pain from bronchitis. Yeah, I had to go to the hospital today with her. Yeah.
My mom just went through that as well. She was in the hospital. Yeah, man, I reach out to you. Yeah, sorry to hear that, dude.
Yeah.
That's horrible, Weaponized Nerd Rage. I'm really sorry. I hope I don't get that. I don't want to throw out my back. And you're a YouTuber. Are you still able to make videos and talk like that?
I've had a couple of subscribers step up and do videos for me.
All right, you don't have to be in here. I'll let you go. I'm sorry about that. I sent you the link because I saw that some stuff was going down, and I wanted to see if you wanted to address it. And you don't. We can do it another time if you'd like.
Drink water and smoke more cigarettes.
Yeah.
Hot help.
Take it easy.
All right, bye, Web. Feel better. Yeah, it's again, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk behind people's back. It's like I'd rather just work it out face to face. And most comic skaters are like that. It's like you'll they're willing to actually do that. That's the difference. The difference between comic skaters and anti-comic skaters. Well, there are many, but one of the main differences is that we're not trying to fool people. The only reason not to get involved in a discourse in public is because you're trying to fool people. And you will be exposed if you're actually heard to speak and work out your ideas with somebody else real time. You'll be exposed as a fraud, and that's a problem. Here, if there's a problem, when we talk about it, we try to talk about it. Isn't that right, Edwin?
Yep.
Edwin just came in. I wanted to acknowledge his beard. A lot of beards going on, by the way.
We're all glad his beard is back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saving a lot of money on razors these days.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Let me get the stupid thing.
I just thought about this just a second ago. Sorry, I got loud for a second. I chose the worst time. But so the Gillette razor video has this feminist agenda on it, but yet most feminists, do they even shave? So they're not. It's like one of those things. Like they always go after things they don't buy, right?
Double-edged sword.
Well, soy boys don't really tend to shave either,
razors.
though. I mean,
women that shave are hot.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's weird. I'm growing out my beard too. I told Andrea, I said, just, get ready because it's coming in, and I mean, seriously, I'm like, for a month, I'm not trimming this. I will look like Edwin.
Nice.
You're almost there. You're pretty close. You're literally millimeters away, Ethan.
Yeah. Millimeters away from. Well, this is old man EVS. This is the old man EVS look.
I think there's a smart angle to the whole Gillette thing, though. Is once they turn all the dudes into like femboys, they'll start shaving their legs. They'll start shaving their armpits. And I even seen Edwin posted a video for Gillette Venus, I think is what it's called, the female razor. And it showed the girls shaving their arms so they can show their, I guess, their tattoos off better. So the point of the Gillette thing is they're going to turn everybody to where you're shaving every last bit of your body hair off. And then you're going to have to buy more razors. So there is a good, money angle there.
They're
tattooed feminists.
It's 2019, and some ladies have beards, and I guess that's okay.
they're laying the groundwork for their new line of blue hair dye too.
The contrast between like the marketing on Lady Gillette, I think they call it Gillette Venus. It's like, oh, you're a female, you're perfect. You woke up this morning and peed in the toilet. Good job. You're beautiful.
Yeah, you're breaking all the rules. Stand up against those men. Be
If these
strong.
women
Fight.
end up buying the razors, then they won't be able to dye their armpit hair.
But as a penis American, I understand my perspective is completely invalid.
Can all of you imagine being that extremely deranged to want absolute pink or blue armpit hair as a female?
Pink or blue armpit. Oh, I've seen that.
It's to like make people know that you have hair and like, I'm not gonna shave. You guys have to see this.
And women can't even grow good armpit hair. You know what I mean? That's the other thing that I've noticed.
So it's like the weirdest
like
look.
Yeah, like it's just a little of like hair. Like men grow like men grow
They
like
can't even
hair.
do that right.
Yeah, women are just like,
So
man. I'm like,
is it cool? Can we bring back the open shirts and can we dye our chest hair? 'Cause I got a lot to work
If
with.
you really want to, go for it,
I
I
would
guess.
do
It was cool. You leave it, everything's open. It's fine.
I'm wearing my sunglasses indoors from now on when I do live streams.
From the
I'm
light-
noticing that people do that on YouTube, and I don't really know why. There's a
People do that?
Yeah. A lot of people live stream with sunglasses on, and they're indoors, and I'm like, generally, unless there's something wrong with your eyes, in which case,
Drugs.
yeah, okay, drugs, maybe sleepiness, but no, there's something like I think the attitude is wearing sunglasses makes me look impervious to harm. Like you can't see my eyes, so I'm not even human. I'm like, I'm too cool. I'm above it all, or something
I'm
like
gonna
that.
guess they're just, nervous.
Yeah. Well, they're nerds.
It's a shield. Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
these douchebag sunglasses here. Okay.
Oh God.
Oh my God!
Here we
Please
go.
no.
Mhm.
Oh,
From now on, this is how I'm doing all my live streams.
Thick-banded
no.
sunglasses and
oh please.
Yes, these are my douche sunglasses.
I see.
Jersey Shore style.
Well,
It
you're
must
not
look-
tan, man.
Oh, I'll get
You
tan.
gotta get that orange glow on you.
I will do it. I don't tan. I turn pink. But you know what? Like at least that's the thing. Like I will do that. I look better when I'm pink. When
You
I'm
can go
red.
the
Oh,
Trump
man.
route. You can go the Trump route and do the rub on.
Oh
Huh?
yeah. Just a spray on orange tan.
Right.
Oh yeah, so you can get streaks, man. So you're
I'll
all
try that.
streaky with like.
Do I have
orange
to get
glow.
naked in front of somebody and they
Oh,
airbrush
Come
me?
on, man.
The whole thing.
Yeah,
I don't
do
wanna-
it on your stream.
Just wear one of your many G-string underwear that you wear, as a soy boy.
Yeah. My leopard skin G-string that
Mhm,
I wear.
mhm.
That's
To
mostly
show your
it's
masculinity.
we call it a banana hammock. You know, when I wear it to the beach.
This is not imagery I need to have in my head, brother.
When I was maybe 22, maybe 21, I was in college and I was bartending at a huge club, and I'm talking huge club. I kid you not, guys. Maybe every 5 out of 7 people in my mind, for some reason, stood out for wearing sunglasses inside. It's just the norm. It's so weird.
I bet
So
they have
weird.
duck lips as well.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll convince SJW Spider-Man to pop in if we let him wear some sunglasses.
Hey, Mike S. Miller's in here. He's wearing sunglasses too. By the way, in the chat, these are not fake Versace's. These are real Versace's. I don't buy fake Versace's. You know, for goodness sake. Right, Mike?
Were you guys talking about something?
Everybody from now on, everybody needs to wear sunglasses indoors. Like
I wear sunglasses 24/7.
Why is that?
Because when you're cool, the sun shines on you 24 hours a day.
That's correct. That is correct. I've said that many times.
That's accurate.
Wherever you go,
in Antarctica in the summer.
Human
Doesn't
sunbeam.
matter if you're cool. You're cool.
Yeah. Mr. MPA 31 says fake or real. They're still ugly ass shades. Oh man, that's not nice.
Don't eat the shades, man.
Some people are just coming and saying, "Why is Ethan wearing sunglasses?" Missed that whole part. I know.
His
For
future's
context.
so bright.
Yeah. I should probably take them off now. Now look at that. I'm humanized. I'm not so much of a DB. You know what I mean? It's like this is. But there's something about YouTube that I have noticed. I watch people's live streams, and you know what? There are a couple of like feminists that I watch very closely, and they do the same thing. They're wearing sunglasses indoors. I'm like, I can't see into your soul.
They know what's
Look
up,
at
man.
Mike now. Don't tell me. That's a different human being.
That is. You're right.
Hold on. Let me put this on Mike.
Hell
Is that a YouTube feminist? What's
That is
going on?
Mike,
Mike,
you look like the budget version of Danzig.
Mike he does look like a budget Danzig.
I'm
but
much taller than
That's
Danzig,
hilarious.
oddly enough.
somebody said you look like Tommy Wiseau, but I kind of see that as well.
Richie Ramirez.
I think you would do better, honestly. You know, I think your Indiegogo campaigns would do better. By the way, did you fix that thing?
No. Do you have an email for someone over there?
Yeah. I can give it to you. I don't know. I thought everyone had.
I mean, hit them up for me or something. They're
Do you have an
impossible to
handler?
get
Do you have
hold
an
of.
Indiegogo handler? Did they?
No, I
give
don't. No.
Oh, they
I
just
haven't made a $500,000 yet.
did that for me. Is that right?
Yeah.
Sorry, SJW Spider-Man.
You're the
it's
half
probably
a
not gonna
million dollar
work out.
man.
Yeah. By the way, I announced that everybody should report SJW Spider-Man today.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I did.
Yeah. I mean, multiple times. I mean, go through and report. It's going to take a little bit of work.
I do it constantly. I do it all the time. The time. I report his tweets. Yeah, the guy's a nightmare. He's a terrible person. It's awful.
Yeah, I've had him blocked for so long. He's not in my peripheral anymore.
Yeah, he's blocked a lot of them. A lot of them I blocked.
I go through his things every single week. I report all of them, and I report Rinfamous's stuff. I've been saying it's a nightmare. They are paid protesters. They are. It's not that they're not good people. It's that they're not good people, and they're getting paid for this nightmare.
I agree.
It's terrible.
I think they work for a PR firm, or there's some kind of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. It's very textbook. I've been around corporate America enough to know when they get these crisis handlers and they, attack. They run these ops and campaigns.
That's right, brother.
Yeah.
And then Joe Quesada gives them pats on the back all the time too.
Well, Joe's going to pay him too. Eventually.
Yeah.
Right.
I love a world. See, this is what they don't understand. Things actually work differently than what you're thinking. I mean, if you think that Marvel hiring Renfamous is going to be bad for ComicsGate, you don't understand ComicsGate. Like that's the thing. Like I'm salivating for more Renfamous. Why? Because I like to make money, and honestly, people who see Renfamous, people who see SJW Spider-Man, they come running to us. They're like, these people are assholes. And we're like, oh, well, we're the opposite of them. We're the people they hate. And they come and just cling to us. you can't just be a dick constantly. You can't just constantly be a crazy harassment campaign and then expect people to come your way. And see, everything that they say is a confession. You know, when they call ComicsGate a harassment campaign, when we manifestly are not. I mean, we're just not. That's not what we're doing. We're kind of patting each other on the back on Twitter. We're defending ourselves, certainly, from all of the crazy accusations that come along from lunatics. But for the most part, we're looking at each other's work and we're talking about how exciting it is. And, you know, for me, it's like, here's Cyberfrog Rainbow Brood is coming. And that's what ComicsGate is. That's what, and then, you know, to them, it's just a full-time attempt to smear and to platform ComicsGaters. And it doesn't matter. Like from the professionals all the way down to just normal little people who kind of mention somewhere that they kind of like ComicsGate. Just, I mean, people that have nothing to do. They're not activists within the movement. Those people get the same treatment as anybody who's actually talking about ComicsGate on YouTube or selling comics. It is a harassment campaign. It's just flatten out. Anti-ComicsGate is a flat out hate group harassment campaign.
Yes, you will toe the line or we will come after you.
You know, as creators, I can look at this and see that for the most part, and this is how I am, we just keep our head down and we work on our projects. We care about our projects. We care about our fans. We respond to them justly. And that's what bothers them in the most part, because they come after the creators. They don't come after the fans. They actually point out some fans that aren't even members of ComicsGate, and they attribute it to the creators,
Right.
all of us. It's fascinating.
Right. And then today they went after Trist, Nerdette's newsstand, and called her a skank.
Yeah, that bothered me so much. I'm a fan of hers.
Misogyny, you know, all this stuff. What's up? Like, if we were, you know, in person, none of this would. I mean, I don't know. They're just horrible people.
What happened? I don't know anything about this. What happened?
Late Night Comics. That guy, Late Night Comics. You know, was going after, you know, the whole campaign of going and basically posting that we're you know, the whole blah 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 hate group Nazis bullshit. Trist went in and said, hey, it's just a lie. This is all a lie. We're making comics. Here are some cool new comics coming out. I'm doing reviews. And he went after her. He said, I'm going to give your personal information to, you know, people to find you. And, you know, and she said, look, you're not bothering me. And he ended it with, you know, well, good luck with all that, skank. And are you kidding?
Wow.
Really? Where's Renfamous? Where's the speaking out for ladies? Where's that whole group?
It's not about caring for ladies. What it is about is caring for a projection of what you think of reality is, and these people are so lost inside of this. It's a fake reality. It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's not anything about caring about women, because if so, then, you know, they probably would actually like me, but they don't. You know, they don't care about that at all.
Right.
We like you, Ava. We like you, Ava. Of course.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Ava is at home here.
We only like the women, but toe the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, you know, ComicsGate, what it is just a big network of people who enjoy comics, want it to be better, and we all support each other. We're not hateful people.
And we're creating stuff too.
Well,
Yeah.
I hate Nasser.
Yeah, they're just tearing things down though. They just spend 24/7 on Twitter tearing things down while ComicsGate is building stuff.
And they're against harassing comics professionals, comic pros, comic creators, but they're harassing us.
They won't.
I know, they're super hypocritical.
Come on, you know, pitch your narrative. You know, do you want you know, we're comics pros now. We have made, you know, you guys already were. A lot of us, you know, are new to it, but we're all making money here now, right? So why are you harassing?
That's what they do. They just talk out their ass. They say one thing, but they always do another.
Yeah.
Always. They never follow their own, what they call their own agenda at all. It's exactly opposite of it.
All right, let me read some of these super chats here. By the way, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. We've got a big crowd tonight. 1,349 people. Thank you so much. Watermelon Platypus says, "What's Deadliners?" Oh, I hit Dave Johnson with that today. You guys remember Deadliners?
No.
No.
Oh, Deadliners is the name of their private Facebook chat group that they use to organize harassment campaigns against people in comics that they don't like. It's Dave Johnson's. It's his group. It's called Deadliners.
Dave Johnson, Dan Panosian.
Dan Panosian is probably in it.
Jeff
I know
Johnson.
that. Yeah. I know that. Somebody told me something really funny. They said that Tamara Bonvillain is in it, but she acts too crazy. Like they're trying to organize, like a successful hit job on someone, and Tamara is like way out of line, like even for them, and they want to kick Tamara out.
Wait, you mean one of the people that ComicsGate has said, hey, this person's a little unhinged, is now being accused of being a little unhinged?
Well, not accused. No, not accused like, openly, but like within the group. We have insiders there. Within the group, like Tamara is a troublemaker and a loudmouth, and like they want to throw her out of the group. This isn't me talking. This is what somebody told me, and I was like she wants to push it too far. She's radical, like she's super radical.
Yeah, isn't this what we've been saying for a long time?
Yeah.
I mean, this is what we've been taking heat for, being called bigots and homophobes and all this stuff. So hand them a mirror.
Yeah. Well, I believe in this stuff. I believe, this group has real trouble because there are some weirdo obsessives that kind of they allow these weirdos in. And Tess Fowler last year, 1 year ago, called me up, and this was during the Melissa Morgue thing. She's like, "I need to talk to you. I need to tell you something very important."
Oh, that's hot.
And I was like, "Okay, Tess." So I got on the phone with Tess Fowler, and she was just like, "Hey, listen, this Melissa Morgue person? We know who she is. We know who she is, and I just want to warn you about her." And I was like, "Oh," and I pretended. By this point, we already knew who Melissa Morgue was. We already knew. So I was like, "What's Tess Fowler doing?" So I go, "Oh, well, yeah. Any feedback, any hints, tips? I'd appreciate it." She goes, "It's Susan Auger." Now, do you guys know who Susan Auger is?
Yeah.
This might be a little ways back here. Susan Auger was one of Zach's biggest stalkers. She developed a whole portfolio. She's on Facebook mostly. She used to be on Twitter. She went by the name. What was her other name, the other account that she was using?
Wasn't she actually thought to be the Melissa Morgue character or a friend of that person?
Well, yeah, it turns out that she wasn't. But we were supposing that. We were wondering, like, whoever this is obsessed with us, and maybe it's Susan Auger. Well, Tess Fowler called me up to let me know that it was Susan Auger. And Susan Auger was one of Zach's main trolls. And it turns out that, she was lying. She was trying to throw this person who was in her little harassment club under the bus by accusing her of being Melissa Morgue. So we would have gone after Susan Auger, like, this is the person who's sending us murder photos. It's Susan Auger. And they would have probably agreed and had her, disposed of. In some way.
That is one ridiculous cat fight right there.
Dude, it is. These people are insane. Like
They fucking love drama, and they're so fucking weird how they.
Well, they're not normal people. This is a political organization within comic books. They are a political organization whose purpose is to silence dissent and to implement social justice. And so anybody who opposes the narrative has to actually be destroyed by any means necessary. And so that's what all of this is about. And so that's what it tends to all be about.
A lot of people have joined since then, so they probably don't know the story of Melissa Morgue. Melissa Morgue was supposedly this person who traveled across the Midwest with a transgendered friend and went to dozens of comic book stores in the Midwest. And the way the story went is that every comic book store that they stopped at, they were horribly abused and mistreated because her friend was transgendered. Somebody did some research. We actually found the voice actress on Fiverr who was doing the voice to these Melissa Morgue videos, and I paid her to record. What did I have her say? That Jawbreakers was going to be the most significant piece of graphic feminist fiction in 2002.
That was funny. That was a good troll.
That's
was really good.
awesome.
I'm going through all my sunglasses, by the way, Mike.
What?
You're switching them up.
Yeah, that's your third pair, right?
Yeah. It's pair number 3. We'll keep going. Yeah, so that's who these people are, and that's what they do. Like they really do have a carefully organized campaign. So Deadliners is a part of that. I don't know. It's really weird. I don't know everyone who's in there. I just have a list of some of the people who are in there, and that's Dave Johnson. There he is.
Yeah, his cabal. You can speculate.
I've been getting these weird emails from individuals with gosh, I get weird emails all the time now, honestly. And I know my sub counter is really low, but man, I get strange emails from people that are telling me a bunch of weird stuff that I don't believe, that they don't claim anything. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what to think about this. I'm gonna step away and say no, always when it comes to that. Hey guys, I'm very very hesitant, specifically because I'm a new channel, B, a new creator. These guys are tripping me out. I'm getting some strange messages, guys, from people that are telling me.
What are you meaning exactly from it? Like,
We're
what kind
not following you.
Yeah,
if
I know.
John Malin showed up at your front doorstep naked with a bag of tacos. that kind of message.
And a glass of
Yeah,
milk.
like troll and say
strange. That's
things.
just John
Hey, you
Malin.
should watch out for this, or hey, watch out for that because I think this is happening. Things like that kind of DMs, to have like the pretending like they're caring kind of DMs.
That's it, Ava.
Okay,
That's
because I
it.
had that when
You're
I first
absolutely
started
right.
out. It's like people pretending like they're like caring, and you should really
Yes.
be careful and watch out.
Yes.
Like, okay.
I get a lot now. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I've gotten it from maybe 7 to 10 people, and it's I don't respond to them for right now.
Yeah.
A couple of them I recognize them, and I understand that they're in our peer group. But yeah, some of these cats.
I'm curious if it's like the same people that had done it for me as well. I don't know. I'd have to like look through. And
Ava, I will on our downtime, I will reach out to you. We'll talk about this. Yes.
All right, we'll
please.
say it later.
Yeah.
Well, this is what they do. Of course, I got stuff like that as well. For a lot. A lot.
I did too.
A lot of concern trolling. A lot of people who wanted to help me out and let me know that I'm making a bad mistake. I'm making a mistake.
You don't know about these people.
That's a half $1,000,000 mistake you just made.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I'm making a mistake by being friends with diversity in comics. Like, I need to denounce him. I need to do all that. All right, so this is interesting here. On the topic that you are discussing, Dave Sim's blog. Have you guys? Dave Sim's got a blog called Moment of Cerebus, which is pretty interesting. Let me show this here. What I do? Oh, what did
We should make Dave Sim a playlist.
Yeah, I know.
17,
that's oof.
That's not nice. All right. So look at this. Here's Dave Sim in an interview. This came out 2 days ago. This is a transcribed telephone interview talking about, my situation with him, but a bunch of other stuff as well. But what happened with Dave Sim, I think some of you probably already know it. Dave Sim called me up, or somebody called me up and then asked me to talk to Dave Sim. Dave Sim basically wanted to be a part of ComicsGate to sell a lot of Cerebus books. But then over the course of our conversation, when I was speaking to him, I was saying to him, hey, you should do your own comic book through ComicsGate. If it's about raising money, write your own comic book and find an artist from ComicsGate, and then we'll promote it. We'll promote the hell out of it. You'll make a lot of money. He didn't want to do that. He said, I want to write Cyberfrog, which threw me for a loop, and I really didn't know what to make of that. But eventually I just kind of said, well, all right, we co-write it. You can help me or something like that. That's how that happened. But Dave Sim, basically Anti-ComicsGate came after Dave Sim. They found out some stuff about him that basically, when I looked into it, I went, all right, I got to separate myself from Dave. I'm sorry, can't do it. But this article here, this is Dave's website. They're trying to investigate what exactly happened and how Dave feels about it. They are anti-ComicsGate. They are trying to convince Dave that he made a mistake. But what Dave does, Dave's perfectly honest. Wouldn't you say so, Edwin?
Yeah, he has no filter. There's
honest
something
to a
that's-
fault.
Yeah,
that's his problem. Like, it's like he will sit there. If you go, well, you were attracted to a 13-year-old girl, he'll be like, yeah, but 13-year-old girls are pretty. It's like, whoa, okay, look, it's like,
Well, that's the way. If you followed any of those arguments when the whole maps thing, the maps pedos thing was going on, that's the way they think. They have no. It's not filtered. They honestly think, well, that's just how I feel. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
Well,
That's
it
so
can
gross. They
can
call it
also
a
be-
sexual orientation. That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
It can also be that he's diffusing it. He's getting it out there before it blows up in his face. So when he throws that out there and says, "Well, yeah,
That's
guys,
true.
I told you what I did." So
Yeah.
he
He thinks it's better to be the first one to
serves
say
the
it before anyone
real
else,
purpose
so.
of keeping him on, having some kind of an argument that people say, "Yeah, well, he did talk openly about his problem."
Right. So in any case, when I said that Dave Sim was going to be writing Cyberfrog, anti-ComicsGate panicked because Dave Sim is a respected comic book writer. And their whole thing is, hey, they don't have any writers. Sorry, Antonio. Sorry, Ben. Sorry, all of you guys. I guess you don't count as writers. But Dave Sim does, and so they really went to town trying to stop him from doing this. And he talks about it. He's like, let me quote Dave Sim here. He goes, and it's like, there's very little discussion that you can have about things like that. I did get a phone message from Marcia Cook, Darwin Cook's widow, which was very, nice and light and breezy kind of thing, just phoning to check in to see how you're doing. And then it's like, laugh. Well, I kind of figured that's not what this is about. I think I know what this is about, but I will phone and talk to you. And she was basically phoning to warn me about Ethan Van Sciver. And it was very quickly got into those too much information kind of areas. She said, quote, friends of Ethan have said that Darwin committed suicide to get away from me.
What?
Now, what she's referring to is Late Night Comics, who did say that. And that's what, she was under the impression, whether she knew it or not, that Late Night Comics was ComicsGate. And my friend, instead of a real problem. I mean, this guy is a stalker and a harasser. He hates ComicsGate, and he's just this. Nobody really knows what to make of this guy, but he's a liar and he's a problem. So, friends of Ethan, this is how they kind of talk to you. This is the kind of way that they will intimidate you and into getting into doing what they want. And he says, and it's like, I'm not really enough of an intimate of yours to even ask you, did Darwin commit suicide? I mean, my impression was he died of cancer, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes on. She was at a convention or someone she knew was at a convention where Ethan Van Sciver had raffled off a handgun of some kind. And like I said, well, I don't know anything about that, but that certainly seems like an odd thing to do. It's odd. So here's an account from somebody who has no bias at all. Okay. Dave Sim is just basically at this point regurgitating what happened to him, what Marcia Cook did. Marcia Cook went around and just tried to ruin me to anyone who would listen. This is concern trolling. The story about raffling off a handgun. My ex-wife worked for the NRA, and yeah, she did. She had a raffle. For a Zig Zauer or something like that. She had a little bucket. You could pay her $5 or something like that and then write your name. And we didn't have the handgun at the convention, you weirdos, And it was nothing that I wanted to do. It was nothing that I was in support of, but I was in support of my wife, who completely saw nothing wrong with this. And I just went, all right, that's fine. Probably our fans are a certain way and they'll understand this. But the liberals went absolutely crazy over this and still present it with this idea that I had a handgun at a convention and I was raffling it off to the highest bidder. Not at all. But anyway, these are the stories that go around. Okay, so this is a lie that I had a friend who said this, and this is a lie. I didn't do this. But we started with a whisper network, and now we kind of get an idea about what these whisper networks are actually saying, which I appreciate. Thank you, Dave Sim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they, I mean, you know.
Yeah,
Everyone's just
Reach to a
silent.
halt.
Like,
See what happens.
It's so relaxing.
Yeah.
We don't know if you're going to stop talking.
Yeah. So I mean, this is this is
But
what
yeah,
they
it's
do,
super
and so
common. That's what happens. Like lots of concern trolling, trying to get people to think ComicsGate is, horrible in some way or form, and even if it's just like one person that says something super shitty, they make it seem like everyone says those things constantly. Like whatever late night comics would have said, or if he said that, they make it seem like, well, they all would say stuff like that. They're horrible people. It's a lot
yeah.
of bullshit gameplay they do.
You know, they're whisper networks, and not this case, obviously, but a lot of other people, their whisper networks are also potentially, slander and libel, what they're putting out there into the world, right? With our, against our businesses, against our names, which we do traffic in for our art. So I think it's going to be like dominoes falling. There's already a big case out there, and, I hear more's coming.
There are more coming, and I know that for a fact. And when I say for a fact, all you have to do is look at exactly what you said. These guys are relentless. They don't care about the law.
Right.
And that's completely obvious. We do. That's what separates us from them. The law matters. The law matters, and these guys are going to try to destroy everyone based upon illegal actions. It's crazy.
Well, they've exposed themselves. They've overplayed their hand. They're not as clever as they think they are.
That's right.
Chickens are coming home to roost now. It's a lot of discovery happens with these first court cases, which leads to you can give that information to other lawyers, and then those go and do other discoveries, and then they have more information. It's a domino effect. It's a big waterfall. The tidal wave's coming.
That's absolutely
I look
right.
forward to it. I like it.
I do too. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I was saying to SJW Spider-Man today, I'm like, here's the thing. The difference between, I'm going to drop this on the floor. All right. This is the difference between me and Zach from Diversity in Comics. I invite you in. I don't think I've ever said anything that I can't defend, that I can't explain, that I'm deeply, deeply ashamed of. I just don't think so. And not only that, everything that I say very publicly, and I'm proud of it. I'm going to say, go ahead. I mean, put my message out to more people if you want to. But yeah, I agree. They're not going to stop. This is going to be something that continues. And the concern trolling that like somebody like Gateway is getting and Ava is getting, that's just because they perceive you on the periphery. Can they pull you out in time? But it's intimidation. It's meant to be intimidating.
Yeah, I gathered that.
I see that too. I see these guys absolutely doing exactly what you're saying. It's fascinating that you actually mentioned that because, gosh, I see it a lot from anyone who engages anyone who is a far SJW. They pretend to be our friends, and then they strike and just eat everyone alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, you got the amazing Tug in here. I'm going to have to drop Ethan.
Oh, get Tug in here.
He's right here. He's already in.
Hey there. I just
how you
creeped
doing?
in.
Hey, Tug.
Take it easy, everybody. Thank you for having me on.
Bye, Ben. Good luck.
Have a good one.
Bye, Ben.
Briefly, I do want to say for a second is that with that tactic, they think that, or they just hope and they really want this tactic to work. The tactic that they use with all of their other people, all their other SJWs, is that they will believe anything they say and then automatically just go along with it. And that's what they want with this concern trolling, is you to go and just take their word for it, ignore everything else, not be a smart and logical person, and see for yourself what is the truth. And they just want you to go and believe what they say, and they really hope that you'll latch on with that. But the problem is, at least like for me and for Gateway and a lot of others that end up, with the ComicsGate side, is that we're smart and we're not going to just believe what you say. We're going to go and check out any kind of information we can ourselves to find the truth. And all I see is a lot of funny people, a lot of caring people, a lot of supportive people, creative people, people that want to go and make this industry thrive and not die. So yeah,
That's it.
they
That's
just
what we're trying to do.
yeah, they just try to go for the people that are dumb.
Well, and they found them. And there's no shortage of dumb people in comics, Mike. There's no well, welcome, that umbrella guy. You've been following the Dave Sims stuff pretty closely. Did you know about this interview with him? Were you aware of it? You're mentioned in it.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday. Yeah, I saw it. He is very he's like an open book. I mean, he doesn't that's one thing I have to say for him. Like pro or con anything else, you know, he pretty much says everything very matter of factly.
Yeah, it's all pro. I mean, you know, it's good to be honest, but boy, it's, you know, sometimes honesty comfortable for other people. So, but I'm grateful that he is like that. I think that's helpful. Sierra Whiskey says Dave made an oopsie. Yes, he did. James Dean, creator of Conflict, says Gillette, the most environmentally wasteful a man can get. At least they're not their parent company, Procter & Gamble, still animal testing in China. Hopefully not on dinosaurs, Mike. Oh, come on, Mike. I can't trigger you. What are you doing? Edwin Boyette says Dragons, yeah. Spam Previews World and Diamond Comic Distributors with this. It happens over and over again. So many of these pros are broken children. Yeah, I'm not out to break anyone. Like, you know, I don't want to. I'm happy. I'm moving on. You know, I've got my own thing going here with you guys. You know, ComicsGate, the thing that's so frustrating to them is that ComicsGate doesn't need them. We don't need these people. Like, we want them. I want to make that very clear. You know, it's like if any of these professionals want to come join ComicsGate, be a part of ComicsGate, figure it out. Yeah, we want you to come over here. Absolutely, we'll help you out. But we don't need you. There's nothing you have that we want. There's nothing that you have that we need. We don't need you, and that is that's incredibly depowering to them. You know,
they've got to see their sales going down too, and I don't know. I got to believe that they're worried. They're so upset about it. It's crazy to me that, like, you know, a YouTube channel that criticizes comic books can draw so much attention from the comic book industry. I don't see them doing that other than because they're afraid.
Well, the YouTube comic reading, comic criticizing audience is, I think, way bigger than the comic book store. The direct market is nothing. Look at Comic Story, he's got 2 million freaking subs.
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
think there's 2 million people going.
By the way,
to comic shops
sponsored by
somewhere.
Gillette. That guy, he's literally sponsored by Gillette.
Even looks like it. Even looks like it.
Well, you know.
In the chat right here, Yellow Flash, the best course of action is to just monetize the SJWs.
That's right. Pull a Jordan Peterson.
That's what we've been doing. That's why I'm saying, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, somebody like Renfamous being more vocal is good for us. You know, SJW Spider-Man being more vocal is good for us. My God, if Marvel does hire Renfamous, it's good for us. Valiant hiring Heather Antos is great for us. It's great for us. All this stuff, because people are just tired of it. People are just going, oh, I get it. It's a club. You know,
and they rehired Chris, what's his face, over at IDW. Genius move. Yeah. Genius move. How much did he lose IDW? Tug?
Huge.
Tug
Well, this year, well, it's not just in the loss of reported money. You know, they just borrowed another $23 million. I mean, they have more debt now. By 2020, they have more debt than they actually have equity. So it's very interesting. That's a company. I mean, it's unless they have some magic up their sleeves, that's a dead company right there.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of cool stuff happen this year. By the way, people are saying that Mike's hair is giving them feels. It's making them feel some type of way. You know? Yeah, I mean, it is something else, Mike. Mike, you look like Janis Joplin a little bit right now.
He looks 15 years younger.
He does. I wish he'd keep his hair down more often. People are saying Mike's hair is
Getting a little
glorious.
gay in here.
Mike's hair is giving them PTSD. I don't know why they would do that. Mike is Samson. Mike looks like Ozzy.
Roll that shirt up. Show that midriff.
Gene Simmons. Dr. Meatball says Comic Historian isn't all bad. No, he's not bad at all. I like Comic Historian a lot. But it is a fact that he's sponsored by Gillette. And that was before this. I mean, it was just, yeah, of course I'll take a sponsorship from Gillette.
Hey, sorry, I just had to go and sneak in real quick. I gotta head out. I gotta finish some editing so I can keep my videos going.
All right, bye, Ava.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Bye, Ava.
Later. Spot open for anybody who wants to come in. All right, let me keep reading here. Happy birthday, Kelly Marie Tran from David Sutherland. That is Rose Tico. It's Rose Tico's birthday today. So happy birthday to you, sexy.
It is.
So Michael
and James
Johnson.
Earl Jones too. The best and the worst.
Who?
And the city. And the
James,
city.
James Earl Jones.
Oh, okay. Brennan Pitt says, funny thing about dog whistles, only dogs hear them. Who keeps noticing dog whistle bigotry again? I honestly don't get it. I don't use the dog whistle thing. I when people accuse you of dog whistling racism, I never know what they're talking about.
Hello.
I don't do that. Hey, Nathan Brennan Masters, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
All right.
Good, man. It's good to have you in the crew.
Thank you.
David Sutherland says, serious like Rose Tico and her cattle prod. Yeah, people don't think about that with Rose Tico. She was basically a fascist enforcer. I mean, she was, she would just shock people who were trying to leave this volunteer army. Like, hey, by the way, we're all going to die. We're going to crash this ship into, an Imperial, what were they? And then we're all going to die. Like, everybody's going to die. And don't you dare leave.
Suicide bombers. They were literally suicide bombers.
They were
Like
stealing
insanity.
shuttle pods. You can't just go around stealing shuttle pods.
It's ridiculous. Well, it doesn't matter though. I mean, you got to. Why not? Why couldn't you? Of course you could. You're gonna blow up anyway. Let people go. What do you can't steal a lifeboat off the Titanic? Yes, you can. How dare you? Rose Tico shocking people. I would love her to shock me, dude, with that cattle prod.
What? Let me ask. So let me say. Would you fight back? How? I mean, electricity.
Rose Tico shocking me with a cattle prod. Would I fight back? I'd say do it again.
Hey, what if it was? Man, I don't know. What if it was that kind of electricity that just bam, bam? You know?
Oh, what do you mean that it just put me out? Like it knocked me out?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that absolutely.
Whatever she wants. It's Rose Tico. She wants to knock me out if that's her thing.
Hail to ram you.
Hail
in
Lord
a
Tico.
Spaceship going like 200 miles an hour to save your life.
I don't want to do that.
Save your life.
I would talk her out of that though. I'd be like, you got to be more sensible than that, girl. But if you want to shock me with a cattle prod, that's a different story. We can
where, Ethan?
I don't care. We can talk about it. We can. It's up for discussion. She's Rose Tico. You know what I mean? Like if Marilyn Monroe wanted to shock you with a cattle prod, would you let her?
Yes.
Of course. Doesn't matter.
Rose Tico is not comparable.
Yes, she is. To me.
No.
Look at her over there.
It's preferable over watching a slow motion starship chase.
Yeah. Look at my Tico watching me. She's like
That's
literally
really
watching me all the time. I see ya.
I see ya.
Pissed off.
She does look pissed off, but I'm used to that look from women. So
yeah,
that's just her resting face.
Yeah,
it's actually
Hey,
that's the age. That's where it is to be a man. You know, just knowing. You know, hey, that gaze, it's normal.
Yeah.
Rose Tico is the best a man can get.
I mean, if she was looking at you like she approved of what you were doing, what would be wrong with her? Like, I don't want women to understand. Doing something different. Women should not understand men. If a woman understands you, that's effed up. They should always be in the dark about what they should always look at you and go, why? And you should just be like, because. What do you mean?
Because.
Keeps it interesting.
See, you know what? I I see that. The best relationships I've actually have been just, because.
Yeah, well, women should be perplexed by you, and the whole thing about it is that inspires mystery. Like they need to wonder about you, and when they
that's the
wonder about
same
you, they're
for-
thinking about you.
It's
They
the
never
same.
wonder
It's
about
the
them.
same for us and them, though. Like, I feel the same way. The best relationships that I have are when I ask, "Oh my gosh, I have no idea what the hell you're coming from, woman," and
Yeah.
and I love them, and I love them for it, and it's awesome because we can share our those things. And I think that all these modern ads, like we're talking about, man, it's the opposite of that. They encourage this kind of ideal where we have to pretend to understand each other when we can't, because I hate to say it and I hate these words, but men are from Mars and women are from Venus, and so it's so stupid when I say it aloud, but at the same time, gosh,
I'm from the sun.
that's it, we'll never really understand each other, and so I don't know.
When they think they understand, man, that's why they make razor commercials with totally unrealistic men.
The chat is suggesting that men should be hairless and gentle. That is the SJW world. Hairless.
Do you think the Gillette commercial was made by a woman?
Yes, it was.
Was it really?
2 women. Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Sponsored by the decision making, the person who hired the women was an Indian fellow who is a complete and total SJW. Worse than that, he's more like Antifa. He had in one of the videos, I did a little research on him. He did a TED talk about disruption within corporations. And this is the guy who is who's making these decisions about what kind of advertising firms are going to come in and represent Gillette. And sure enough, he hires 2 feminist weirdos to come in and concoct a commercial that attacks its own customer base. What does that sound like? It's SJWism to a T. It's what everyone is doing. It's what's happening in comics, Star Wars, Magic the Gathering, video games, over and over again. It's no different. SJWs are invading every place and destroying.
Yeah.
And they sought out someone, they sought out that intentionally, with someone with a resume of making commercials that do exactly that. I mean, that's very telling when that's your marketing strategy.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, it kind of worked though. I mean, everyone's talking about that commercial, which in the end is kind of what you want people to do. And now how that will work out for them in the long term, I don't know. But right now, everyone is talking about that commercial.
Sure.
Yeah, negative press is good for the short term. It's not good for the long term. You don't want to drive people away. It's harder to make a good ad that gets people excited for your product, and that's what you want to pay money for.
But how long are we really going to remember this, though? I mean, like
a good while.
I'm thinking, give us a few weeks, and we'll be on to something else that's outrageous and inflammatory and stupid, and it'll be equally angering, and they'll get their little buzz, and then so on and so on. I mean, this is the same thing Marvel is doing. The same thing they did with the Spider-Woman cover with who's the guy Milo Manera cover. I mean, it's like you specifically hire an erotic artist. The guy is not like it's not like the guy is known for drawing kiddie books. I mean, he's known for erotic art. You hire this guy and you're like, oh wow, we're shocked. We didn't know he was gonna draw a cover like that. Get the fuck out of here. You knew what he was gonna do. That's what he did. You knew that's what he does. You knew that's what you paid him to do.
Well, they knew that. They knew that the companies knew that. They just didn't know the customers were gonna react, who they thought were customers, the SJWs. But they didn't understand that they were going to react negatively. Of course, they hired him to do something that was like that, erotica. That's why they hired him.
But see, I think they did know.
They did know.
Outrage marketing, and it got everybody upset.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then everybody's like, oh man, I got to get this cover, because no one cared until this dude did this. But they had to do the whole virtue signal thing. Oh my God, we stand up. We don't want to offend anybody, but you literally paid this guy to do this cover that was erotic that you probably knew was going to get that reaction, and then you just keep doing this stuff over and over and over.
The knew that it was going to get this reaction thing. I just disagree with, because there's a long history of comic book art that looks like that, leading up to that very moment. Like, that was the moment when people said, no more of this stuff that people want. No more of these comics with idealized, sexualized women on them that people actually buy, even though that's what drove the late 90s. You know, it's like, we got to get rid of that. So the fact that existed, I really do think they thought, yeah, of course, okay, we'll do. They didn't know that it was going to get this kind of reaction. It was just it was a variant cover.
I would say that I think they did know, and I think they knew because of the fact the reaction to it was the way because I don't think they decided, okay, we're not going to ship this. I think they did it for the attention. I believe they shipped those covers, right? They actually shipped those covers. So they made money off of that because people are going to pay more money for those covers. That was pure outrage marketing, and people are doing it. People are doing it. They were doing it. They've been doing it for a while, getting people pissed off. These people are easy to trigger. It's just so easy to do it. And once you make them mad, if you're smart, you can make some money off of them. But the thing about it is, hiring them and putting them in your company, that's just stupid. But getting them worked up, that's possibly one of the smartest things you can do, especially if you just kind of ignore them, or you play the, oh my God, we got to pull this quickly. Yeah, people are going to buy it because they want it, and they want something they think is going to be there and then disappear. And I do also find it very odd that it was specifically that Spider-Man book, because I'm almost sure that there were other books that had sexy female characters on the cover, even to this day, and they aren't getting half they're not triggering people as much as that cover did.
Well, do you really think
with the Gillette thing, Procter and Gamble doesn't know its audience. They basically they closed their second quarter in 7 days, so they tried something to see if they could drive their stock, and right now it's not working. It's actually dropped their stock, but I mean, they're still going to beat estimates. But what they did, since I mean they had a week to basically push up their numbers, that's what they're trying. A lot of places they do try outrage marketing, or they try trying to sneak. CNN just did a puff piece for this, and they call this woke marketing. I mean, it's getting so commonplace that what does this say about this trend in woke marketing?
Yeah, people know that. People know that they're trying to pander to these markets, and again, these are really bad markets to pander to, because they're grievance mongers. So you can't sell something to a grievance monger. You can't sell something but you can impress them. You can get the internet backpack pat or whatever, but the normies, nobody wants to buy that. Nobody wants to be told you're a bad person and we're going to tell you how to live. The person that's selling you whatever stuff they're selling, we're going to tell you how to live. And I somebody was talking about that day. It may have been diversity, or the artist formerly known as Diversity in Comics. It may have been him, or somebody was talking about how the companies are now saying, hey, are you worthy of buying our product? It's like,
yeah,
what? Get out of here.
Well, that's what's coming. Yeah, they're going to try to shame their audience into submission. Like, are you worthy of buying a Snickers bar? Are you good enough? Do you meet our expectations of what a human should be? That's SJWism again. It's bullshit. We're going to put a stop to it. Jason Kapinin says, my gender is a gender of peace, brother. I hear you. Phantom Smasher says, interesting that SJWs defend Gillette previous advertising as people can change. But this understanding is not afforded to people they perceive as toxic. Well, again, I mean, that's, I love that. I'm gonna start saying people can change. Renfamous's whole thing too, her whole shtick. is based on how she's changed.
She
Thanos
hasn't changed. She just changed targets.
Yeah, she's worse than ever. Thanos EVS says, "Brother, it's time, pie, pie. Dude, I haven't had a pie in like a month, and I'm not going to. I'm eating really, really well, and I feel good. You know, I've got a lot of energy. I was jump roping with Ava today, which was fun. I mean, she's just 2.5 years old. She's watching Daddy jump, and she's jumping with me, and it's so fun.
What did you hit on the Richter scale?
I'm losing weight. You'd be surprised. You know, I'm doing pretty good. Siren Jack says, I need an apology from the NAMBLA member at Gillette for the shot they took at the end of the ad with the young boy with the tag that says the best a man can get. Ooh. That was a nice double meaning there.
That's nice.
Double meaning.
Wow.
Brett Favre says someone can admit they're wrong, but never apologize to SJWs. That's like feeding a gremlin after midnight. No, never apologize to SJWs ever for any reason. Avoid it.
They'll destroy you. They'll do it on purpose. It's malicious. They smell it. It's like blood. They're sharks, but they're not good sharks. They're very evil sharks.
They're rude and they're stupid and they're ugly and they have blue hair and, you know, F them. Just F them, dude. CD says, before all the drama talk, check out Column Volume 1 on Indiegogo. It's a fun comic that has a multimedia presence, including character logs with actual voice actors. It's also like Red Dawn, Wolverines. Yeah, I like that. I like Red Dawn.
Ethan, the reason I put this piece up was because you were talking about dog whistles, and somebody commented on this on Twitter and said, anti-CG will likely freak out over the Iron Cross and claim it's a dog whistle. So,
I saw that and I thought it was Captain Marvel. Like, so I didn't even blow it up. I was like, that's a pretty good Captain Marvel drawing. Or Black Adam.
Yeah.
What is he? You want to explain what he's about?
Iron Cross was basically the German Übermensch during World War II.
That should go over great, Mike.
That Lone Star.
This is so much fun. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I can. I'm looking forward to explaining that to everyone. No. It's just the German idealized Übermensch. It's you know, there's nothing wrong with that. He looks good, Mike. Good drawing though. But I'm gonna let you handle that. I disavow, Mike. I disavow. All right.
Disavow.
I got it.
It's a Medal of Honor that's still used today in Germany.
Yeah.
See.
You guys think in 40 years from now, like everybody's so desperate to be on the right side of history. You think in 40 years from now they're going to look back and like study it in school and be like, that was a messed up time in history. Everybody was trying to be on the edge of. Yeah, I can't see. They think it's going to be this continual progress in their point of view, but I don't see that happening. This is going to be. They're going to look back on us like we're insane.
Yes.
Not
we're
us.
insane.
Well, no.
Our era.
Not us.
Yes.
Yeah. This time period.
Yes.
Yeah, they have to. I think about this all the time, and I'm just like, well, I mean, I always wondered what it would be like to live through like the Cold War and the Red Scare. Like, because I like that. I like reading about it. I'm like, wow.
We lived through the Cold War, man.
No, not the good part. Not the 50s. You know.
Oh.
Not when everybody thought the bombs were gonna fall. Like that's what I want.
Duck and cover.
I want to do duck and cover. I want a bomb shelter. I want to worry about Russia blowing us up. We don't worry about that stuff now. But I mean, you know what?
Now, but we did when we were kids. I mean, you're not much younger than me.
Liberals always feel like it's their job to scare everyone about everything. I don't know what it is. They always think that it's time. Like, hey, we're at school. Teachers at school want to scare kids. You know, it's like, oh, the bombs could fall. Let's watch a film strip about what would happen if a nuclear bomb fell on your house, guys. Everybody turn off the lights. And that's what they do. They always do that. And it's like when the Cold War ended, it was just like, oh man, now we can't scare kids anymore. Basically. So now what they're doing is this is like the Cold War. It's you know, are you or are you not a Nazi Trump supporter? You are. Like all these accusations of Nazism.
Well, and you're toxic, right? You've been born into this toxicity that it surrounds you, and they need to point it out for you. Otherwise, you won't know. Yeah, the whole ideology behind toxic masculinity is just a fear tactic.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And you know what? This is a war. It's against social constructs, as well against politics. And regardless of how I chose to vote in the last election, no matter how from this point forward, it could only be conservative from this point forward. That's the bottom line when you look at it logically. No matter what happens from this point forward, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine. That's the bottom line, and it's scary to think that the opposite side could gather enough support to win control. It
They
scares
can't.
me. That's
They
right.
can't do it. Donald DeLay, I'm glad you're here. I wish you had gotten here earlier.
I've been here for like an hour, homie. Yeah, I've been here watching Discount Lou Diamond Phillips and you put on your wife's sunglasses.
He wanted you an hour.
These are my
and a half
sunglasses.
ago.
These are not Andrea's sunglasses. Hers have little diamond things all over them. That's what women wear. These are manly sunglasses. These are not soy. They're not soy based. Donald, listen, I'm going to change the subject real fast so you can stop making fun of me. I'm going to make fun of you. What is up with you and weaponized nerd rage? What happened?
Well, yesterday I was having a bit of a moment, dunking on some SJWs. Things got a little bit heated when one of them used their dead relative as a shield. Whether that relative was dead or not, I don't know. But that kind of pissed me off, so I went off on that person. And in the midst of things getting heated, weaponized nerd rage, being a decent person, was trying to like pull me back, trying to put me on blast. Well, not put me on blast, but put me in check, really, to tell me to get me to calm down. And in the middle of it, I threw out an accusation I should not have, and apologized to him today, and we're good now.
All right, I had him in here. I was gonna have you guys make up. Actually, I was gonna try to get you guys to be mad at each other again first, and then make up, because I need it's content for the show
to get the views.
We made up. I publicly apologize for what I did. I should have, if I had any issues with him, they should have been in private. They should have been taken up in private and not, trying to blast him on Twitter in front of everybody like that. But I apologize.
That would be yeah, that would be best.
He accepted the apology, and we're all good now.
Okay, so
Boys will
weaponized
be
nerd
boys.
rage. Yeah, I had him in here.
Boys, that's right.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah.
So we gotta pull these guys off each other so they don't fight. Well, in any case, yeah, I had him in here. I was hoping you guys could make it up, or not. Yeah, just find out what goes on with you guys.
He's a duty poopy head. That's what he is.
There you go. So, Wep, if you have a response to that, being called a duty poopy head. By the way, Donald, don't think that I didn't see that you posted a picture of yourself as Tor Johnson there. I did see that. Now that you know who Tor Johnson is, do you think you bear a resemblance or no?
I know who he was. I saw that Ed Wood movie like everybody else.
It's an honorable thing. He was a good guy, Tor Johnson.
Yeah, I look like pretty much any fat, bald white guy that you can name.
They all look the same.
Basically, Butterbean, Bam Bam Bigelow, Tor Johnson.
Gojirify says soy doesn't produce hair; it produces fuzz. Therefore, no need for razors. Black Russian Bot says EVS gay sunglasses, gay 2.0. Jason Green says, "Hey, Uncle E, get your pubes streaked."
Yeah.
Ew.
He's talking about Brett.
Brett?
Gay
What
sunglasses.
Oh, gay sunglasses guy.
Yeah.
Oh no. So he said gay sunglasses gay. He meant gay sunglasses guy 2.0. Yeah, they call Brett gay sunglasses guy or gay glasses guy or sunglasses guy.
Gay sunglasses. Gay glasses guy. No, I forget. I think
That
gay
pissed
sunglasses.
Brett off
glasses guy.
to no
They were
end,
calling him
dude.
that.
I'm sorry, what, Tug?
They were calling him gay glasses guy. You're right.
Yeah,
Just take the glasses off. Just be gay. Maybe okay.
yeah, that pissed him off. He didn't come back after that. Here's the thing about being on YouTube. You're gonna get memed on.
Yeah.
You got to get ready for it.
I am apparently now discount Lou Diamond Phillips, so I'm just gonna have to deal with that for a while. I'm fine.
I think right now you're looking a little bit more like the Room guy, Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, Tommy Wiseau.
The both of you with the glasses are totally tripping me out.
Everybody should have. Well, if you're willing to show your face on camera.
Hey, I got a question from Mike.
Yeah.
When's the next Metallica album coming out?
Metallica died in 1985.
Let's see. Swinging Cod says, unlike his shirt, the banana hammock is 3 times small. James Dean Creative Conflict says, my Indiegogo campaign for Conflict is over. Thanks for the super chat shoutouts. It helped me raise $9,000 on my first graphic novel. Here's $10 for pie. Ethan from Varsity Comics. Thank you. Go Jerify says, I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mike. So again, more people thinking that you resemble Tommy Wiseau. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Sweens says, can I get a shout out for my book Oddity coming to Indiegogo? Thanks, sweetie. You're welcome, love. This guy's doing a book called Oddity. It's a frog book. It's another frog book.
Uh-oh.
You got competition.
Well, I mean, I started a trend.
Frogs are good.
Crossover's coming. I can feel it.
Cyber Frog Oddity. Swinging Cod says the anti-CG PR ops is due to the fact that Marvel is crashing, and they view indie as a threat to market share and can scare fans into staying. Tug, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
Hey there.
I was away there.
Away there. All right, let me repeat this, Tug, and this time listen because this is right up your alley.
Okay.
The anti-CG PR ops is due to the fact that Marvel is crashing, and they view indie as a direct threat to market share and can scare fans into staying.
I mean, there are a lot of theories on these people not being just random trolls, which they are definitely backed by people in very high positions within companies like Marvel. I mean, you see executives talking to them and on, and I mean, there are a lot of people that again speculate on that being a coordinated thing because they create others. They create an out group. I mean, not everybody wants to be on the out group. Not everyone wants to be hated by their favorite creators out there, and denounced by everyone out there. Most people just want to, pick up comic books and on. And a lot of people will walk away quietly too. Most people are not going to stand up and say, screw this. I think more and more people they're saying it with their wallets, so. But some people, especially pros, are being, I think, bullied into walking that line. And I think there's really a lot of controlled opposition going on.
Well, what do you think the reason is for attacking ComicsGate? I mean, they can't see us as direct competition. They just can't because we're not. I mean, we could grow into direct competition, but so could anybody, So it's like, I don't think they see us as direct competition, in my opinion. Is it ideological? Is it the fact that we represent, we're talking about what SJWs are doing, and that could be a danger to stopping SJWs from doing what they're doing? Or is it just that they're so effed up and their failure is so incredibly profound that they need to look busy?
Are you asking Tug or just anyone?
Anyone.
I think we are the seeds of direct competition because I think we're we say it all the time, we're creating a new market. we're bringing in readers who haven't read comics in decades. We're bringing in new readers who've never picked up a comic book, and that's something that the comic book industry has failed to do for the past 30 years. And 10 years from now, if we maintain this level of growth, we are going to be the market.
We are. We're going to
Yes.
be. I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome.
This is exactly what's happening right now, and I'll tell you right now, I don't even have 1,000 subs yet. I'm pretty close, but at that same point, I just want to point out from my perspective, I've had people reach out to me over email because I leave my email public so people can talk to me, and I've had emails and people have sent me emails and they've said, I don't even follow comic books, but I want you to know that I'm on your side and I agree with you, and I'm going to follow your perspective because that's my perspective, and it really warms my heart to think that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
To jump on what Asian Razorfist said, not only is ComicsGate bringing in new readers and old readers that have left, but we're showing them that the predatory practices that mainstream comics is using, and we're showing pros another alternative to making money instead of having to make horrible page rates at Marvel or DC because they have to cut their budget. They can see how much they can make on Indiegogo as long as they have a decent enough audience.
Well, you can tell there is something, like you'd have to be blind to look at this market and not tell there's a problem. We just saw the units, the moved copies to LCS's shipped copies. They came in slightly above last year, and I mean very slightly. And those are, I mean, right on the lowest number since 2012. And when you look at how they did that, well, they had an Action Comics 1000, they had a Spider-Man 800. When you count out all of these huge milestones and also the reboots there, I mean, you're talking about the worst year probably, I mean, definitely right in the last decade. And the way they're trying to compensate, they're killing local comic shops by doing it. They're just raising the prices to a certain level, and they're basically forcing out, you know, all these incentive or variant covers and on. And I mean, it's trying to do damage control right here in the short term, but in the long term, this is just going to cause more damage. So yeah, there are going to be a lot of pros that agree. They're going to agree behind the scenes. I imagine even people that are out there denouncing all of y'all as, bad guys. Look at those pros over there. They're all monsters. They secretly want to be there too, especially people that are newer to the game, because they know that this kind of stuff, this is not going to help them out in the long run for sure. There are going to be a lot of people that are struggling to make ends meet.
Well, and they've got conflicting priorities too, because just like with Gillette, I've been to classes like this. I know that they teach about social responsibility and how if you're socially responsible and you do something for the greater good, then your sales are going to follow. And so I think Marvel's doing the same thing. They think that they're connected and that if they pursue this social responsibility route, then the sales are going to follow. I mean, it's only going to take, I don't know how long it'll take for them to figure it out, but it's obviously not correlated.
Yeah.
No,
all right. So
idiocy.
It is idiocy. Well, you know, I told Bill Sienkiewicz, I said, Bill, you're standing in the way of us building an alternative to the comic book industry. And you might not realize it now, but you're going to need us one day. You know, how much longer does this business keep guys like you employed, honestly? You know, as you get older, you get aged out. Who just said that? Mark Waid just said that. Mark Waid just said, hey, as you get older in this business, you get aged out of the industry. A lot of people get angry when they realize that. So how much longer do guys like Bill Sienkiewicz have, if that's the case? And in any way, this is a better opportunity. This is an alternative opportunity for you, when it's time. So it's weird that people would try to sabotage this. It's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, just look at any convention and look at any comic artist from the 80s or 90s who was a big name.
I don't think that's fair, because there's people from the 80s still churning out freaking awesome stuff because they're not just stuck in the same rut of trying to ride their own coattails from 30 years ago. You know, you gotta grow, you gotta change, you gotta adapt as an artist, as a writer, and you aging out is a choice of, you know, just sitting on your own laurels.
Well, aging you out of Marvel or DC is probably more apt for what they meant, you know, kicking you out. And I think a lot of what we've seen, you know, one of the people buy into all of these methods that really replace them. You know, hey, look at all of this diversity we're adding. No, Marvel's actually going out and they're buying cheaper labor. That's what they're doing. They talk about, you see it in reviews. If you go to places like Glassdoor, people talk about their pay rates, and their pay rates are abysmal when you compare that to where they're living and on. But you know, some people are happy with a job that doesn't pay $30,000. I mean, that's insane to think that you could have a position in Marvel and make under $30,000 a year.
Yeah. All right. So let me read some more of these. James Dean Creative Conflict says, to all the fans and buyers that backed Conflict, thank you. I will do my best to make a great book in a timely manner. I won't even insult customers. Wow. That's the fun part, James. You know. Mild Peril, just kidding. Mild Peril says, hi, Ethan ZZ Top. Tell Dyke S. Miller Sony is furious. We both got it there, Mike.
What?
We both.
Sony?
I don't know why Sony is furious.
I don't know.
Gojirify says, Malin sounds like John Cougar Mellencamp tonight.
Thank
he always kind of does.
I guess.
Yeah,
I just want Mike to swing his head around like Stevie Wonder when he talks.
John Cougar Melancholy.
All right.
Yeah, I used to get called that in like elementary school. Yeah.
Somebody in chat asked when you were going to promote your Christian metal album, Mike.
What was it? The spandex clad bumblebees. What were their names?
Striper.
Yeah, it's about that Striper.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I loved those guys when I was a kid. Oh my gosh.
Mike, do you like the Christian rock stuff?
I think
Newsboys.
I don't follow a lot of it. I think Christian music has gotten a lot better in the last 10 years or so. But man, it was so bad.
There's
it was like I don't know, what do you compare it to? Where it's like just because they put the label Christian on it, you know, people would buy it because it's like, well, what else do we have? But now it's like the market has matured and there are actually good artists out there producing good work.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. I would like to say this. I really like Jars of Clay. I don't know if you've heard. Yeah, those guys are my favorite band. Christian band. Yeah, they're good.
Actually, Striper was pretty good for what they were. I mean, they actually changed their sound recently. I was seeing videos about that, but for what they were like a Christian hair band. So they had the sound down, and the music wasn't that bad. I actually am a fan of POD.
Yeah, POD.
I like POD. Yep.
I met one of those guys. They're all from down here, so I've got like several people who are friends with them.
Oh, cool.
All right, let me read some more of these. Jilly writes comics and stuff, says EVS, thanks for the lair tweet. The hashtag ComicsGate platform needs to thrive in the face of the evil mainstream empire. Keep them on their heels. The hate is real because their fear is. Hashtag banana hammocks. Yeah, check out Jilly and his book Lair, which I promoted today. That looks good, and I'd like to get him on the show and see if he's cool. Swinging Cod says every police and fire department in Appalachia, Plains, Texas, Deep South, and Mountain West have gun raffles. They're fairly commonplace and go through an FFL. Yeah, I know, but the comics industry is insane. Malcolm says, Ethan, one reason legal consent laws exist is girls sometimes mature early and look much older than they are. Wait a second here. I'm getting reamed about. All right. Implying Dave is a sicko for being attracted when you don't know her appearance is SJW BS.
He knew she was 13.
Yeah. No, his quote, pretty underage girls are pretty because of their tiny bodies. And then he keeps going on. Yeah.
I don't defend that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not, it's very much so not the way they looked. He describes things in a way that we're someone else. See, I don't want to be a hypocrite in this stuff. if it were somebody out there that was talking about 13-year-olds, 9-year-olds, we've been running across that, then we call that shit out. And if I run across that, I don't see a line. I mean, anybody that does, I mean, I don't want to delve into that kind of hypocrisy.
Yeah,
because it
and
shouldn't be an us and them,
Right, and there's nobody here who wouldn't have wanted him on our side from his body of work. This isn't about that. This is about sticking to like decent moral standards.
Yeah, it was a disappointment, but I had no idea. What I knew about Dave was that he had gotten in trouble for writing some anti-feminist stuff, but that's cool.
This stuff isn't out there either. I mean,
yeah.
I did a lot of looking. I mean, a lot. And I went through every article. And these people, the other side there, when they found even a sliver of anything, they threw it right out there. So
yeah,
there wasn't anybody out there that knew any of this stuff. And God
no.
forbid that you actually took the time to make sure that this wasn't some kind of character assassination, calling someone what this entails, calling them an abuser or a pedophile, whatever someone wants to label him. I'm not calling him that, but just saying what that entails. Yeah, you don't want to throw that on somebody.
Well, here's what happened. I mean, they hit me with this, here's the order of events. They, Renfamist and her cronies hit me with a screenshot of Dave explaining something about being interested in a 14-year-old girl, and then he had sex with her when she was 21. Okay, and it was very vague, but it was enough for me to go, okay, all right, I gotta, just give me a minute, let me look at this. And someone said he basically groomed her. He decided he wanted to date her when she was 14, and he waited till she was 21. And with no further evidence than that, I said, well, that's what Elvis did with his wife. Okay. So, Elvis, met a girl, Priscilla Presley, and he waited. He kind of said, just watch her. I'm going to date her. It's a little weird. It's a little creepy. But it's not pedophilia. It's nothing like that. So I said, yeah, it's, that's what Elvis did. Well, they jumped all over me over that. Like, how dare you compare him to Elvis or something? Wow. It's just a fact. But in the meantime, I promised to look into it. And we did. Edwin looked into it and came back with some pretty. He asked him some questions, and Dave Sim answered directly, and he told me through this fax exactly how he felt, what he was thinking, what happened. And at that point, I said, "I look, that's it. I can't work with you. I have a real thing against that. I can't do that. I have a real problem." When it comes to protecting children, I can't second guess. I don't want to investigate, and I mean, I just don't want to. It's okay. Just go do your thing. I mean,
good.
So that's basically what happened. And the problem with it is that this was I'm going to lose either way type of thing when it comes to SJWs. They did this entirely as an operation to slander and hurt ComicsGate, and I realized that. I knew that if I fired him, they would call me a chicken or a coward or something like that, who didn't want to stick up for people who had been thrown out of the industry like Dave was. Ethan, put your money where your mouth is. That guy was thrown out of comics, and you're supposed to save people like that. So I knew I was going to get hit with that if I threw him away, and if I kept him, I knew that I would be accused of supporting child grooming and all this stuff. So I had to follow my own instincts, and it was a decision based on what I wanted to do, not based on what people were telling me I should do. And my heart told me, nope, you can't do it. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Can't work with them, because working with someone is going to mean some close, I don't know, interactions. We're going to talk about this and that. We're going to build a story together. I can't work with someone who finds 14-year-old girls attractive or 13-year-old girls attractive. I have an 11-year-old daughter upstairs. I can't. That's a child, dude. There's no mistaking that. I realize that some girls grow up a little quicker than others. They don't grow up that quickly. They don't end up looking like a woman that a 30-year-old man should be dating. Not that quickly. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. Like I said, I realized I would take heat from fans and from non-fans. Either way, I ended up doing what I thought was right. I don't regret it for a minute. I've never second guessed it. It felt right to me. It still feels right to me. And if you don't like it, sorry, you know, you hired Dave Sim. I don't know what to tell you. So that's that.
Yeah, people keep bringing up Elvis. Elvis married Priscilla, and Dave basically dumped this chick as soon as well, maybe not as soon as he slept with her, but from that story, it's like
he said, "I have no interest in
after he
marrying
slept with
her."
her, it was a very short relationship. It's like
I don't understand the Elvis thing either. I really don't get that. I think but Elvis had a lot of problems. I don't know what Elvis had a lot of problems. I do know that from every story I've ever heard, he never touched Priscilla until she was of age, and I think I don't know. I people are messy and complex and all of that stuff, but I've got lines. I've got it, very.
Hey, Jerry Lee Lewis married his
there.
13-year-old cousin.
They bring that up too. He actually married his 13-year-old cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hardcore.
Wow. So I have a buddy, and he kept sending me text messages recently, and he's like, hey man, I'm kind of dating my stepsister. And I'm like, that's gross, bro. I don't really even care if it's your stepsister. I get it. Yeah, it's just by marriage, but hey man, yeah, totally not cool. And he just kept sending me. I'm like, hey, stop it. Stop it. This is not cool. It's creepy. It's weird. Hey, if people are okay with that, that's fine. I'm traditional. I'm traditional. I don't know.
All right, we don't need to talk about this too much more. Swinging Cod says every police and fire department in Appalachia, Plains, Texas, Deep South, and Mountain West have gun. Oh, I read that one already. Okay. Alec Munoz says, love this group. Thanks for bringing us together. EVS, thank you. Captain Black Cheesemo says, what are these people going to do when there's another crash of the industry? It's coming. I don't know. Yellow Flash says, is Mike the new gay glasses guy? Mike is
gay, man.
No. Stephen Hill says the U.S. military is an all-volunteer force, and we detain deserters and can kill on sight. Gojirify says, just remember, Care Bears are hairless bears. Are they? Are they hairless? I don't think so.
No, they're not hairless.
They're
That'd be weird. That look like
it's just short hair.
Egyptian cats. Those weird-looking cats. Yeah.
Yeah. John Whalen, thanks for your super chat. Would you let Rose Tico wipe you after? No. Mellow E, I'm a stubborn SOB and will remember this. Hello. Mark C says, I miss the days of Byrne's sensational She-Hulk actually teasing the audience with outrage artwork for the sake of comedy. And Chris Evans says, you should check out Crystal McGee's Good Night sometime, Uncle E. Her ComicsGate book looks really good. Have you guys heard of Crystal McGee?
Yeah, it looks good. I like it.
It looks good. It looks good. I'm gonna support it before it closes. Yeah,
I'm gonna support it myself.
Yeah,
cool. All right, is she cool? Have any of you guys talked to her?
She seems very very nice. She's a supporter of ours.
Yeah, she's in a lot of the chat. She goes under It's McGee.
Yeah. John T. Net. Wow, thank you for 100 Hong Kong. What's Hong Kong dollars? What do you call them? Yen? Is it yen?
No, that's Japanese.
Oh, what do they have in Hong Kong in China?
They have the yuan in China and Korea.
He says PRC News Channel just reported that China may move to ban animal testing. Main target, Procter & Gamble, moving to temporarily close Gillette, H&S joint venture factories. Hong Kong and SH futures market freaking out. Maybe Z overture to Trump. I'd love that. I love it. Gojirify says, attention class, the bombs are on the way. You'll never see mom and dad again. Mark C says, Uncle E, I'm only a year older than you, and we did the duck and cover bomb drills in school as a kid.
That's right. That's right. I remember.
Did you do duck and cover? I never did duck and cover.
Yeah, we did that.
Heck yeah.
How old are you people?
Closer to 50 than to 40.
I remember the Challenger explosion.
They sent everybody home. They sent everybody home at school that day. We were watching it. And they let everybody go home.
Did you get to watch it? You got to watch it actually happen?
Yeah, we were watching it. They put it on the whole school, and then everything happened, and they were like, "All right, guys, everybody, school's closed now." they let the kids go home for the rest of the day.
Wow, that's crazy. With the Challenger explosion, it happened during recess. So we were out there playing, and the teachers were like, "Oh, we're going." This was a different time. Like a space shuttle launch was something that was an event, and the teachers were like, "We're going to go watch the space shuttle take off in the teachers' room." So we're out there playing, having a good time, and we're in the 6th grade. And I remember me and my friend Jason came in from the playground, and we came into our room. We're sitting down, and the teacher was there, and he was like, "Mrs. Barr, did you like watching the space shuttle go up?" Now she thought he said blow up.
Blow up.
And she was like, "That's not funny, Jason. 7 people just lost their lives." And she was angry with him. And he's like, "Whoa, what?" Like this little kid. And she explained to us what had happened. He said, "I said go up." I remember that vividly. And, you know, watching that.
There's a whole conspiracy about that being a fraud.
Really?
Tell us about it.
Like there's people, they didn't even change their names. Okay, assuming this is all true. But like the people that were on there, none of them changed their names, and you can find them today. Like one of them lives in San Diego, and I think she's a judge or something. Or a professor or something like that. But you can see their pictures, and you're like, damn, that is the same freaking person.
No.
You should check it out. It's kind of creepy.
That sounds like fun, though. I like the conspiracies like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was in art class freshman year.
Yeah, you were a freshman in high school when that happened in '86.
Old.
Yeah, you are older than me.
I was born in '86.
Wow.
Yeah, I was.
That's almost as old as you are.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to remember because I was in the grade of the last digit of that year. So '86, 6th grade. '87, 7th grade. That's how it's easy for me to remember. But yeah. Man, that was crazy. Being called gay sunglasses guy again by Black Russian Bot.
Well, those particular glasses you're wearing do look a little effeminate.
You think these look effeminate?
Yeah,
a little.
Glasses shouldn't have jewelry on them for men.
No, well, if you go to Europe, if you go to Greece or
we're
Italy,
not in Europe.
Yes, it's very common over there.
This kind of stuff, this is what they wear. They wear the most incredibly like over the top. You know what I mean? Like stuff like you would call it what's the word that you would call it?
Rooster.
Guido.
Guido.
Well, not in so many words, but you know, yeah, like that gaudy. Like
gaudy. There you go. Yeah.
You know, it's like that's the stuff. I saw these and I went, "How much are these?" And I went, I'm getting those." And Andrea said, "Why?" I said, "Because look at them." And she said, "Oh, see, always keep your woman guessing. She should not understand you. She should not understand you for a minute."
And vice versa. They should really, really keep that mystery up. It makes us feel good, I think. Right? Do you guys? Can y'all relate to that?
No, I want to understand. I want to understand her pretty well. Like I will ask questions of her, but she will not because she knows most of what I'm doing is bullshit.
No,
so
that's what I'm saying though. That keeps their interest, and so like what you just said, that's perfect. That's exactly how I feel. I want to understand them, and so that's how they keep our interest, right? Do you see that? Kind of,
yeah,
maybe?
I guess. I don't know. But somebody's saying I need a necklace. Yeah, I do. I need a big necklace to match this.
You gotta have a big necklace. You need to have those big fat rings on every single finger, and you need a half chewed up, half smoked stogie in your mouth right now.
And you have to have a shirt that's halfway unbuttoned, and you better have a hairy chest to go with those glasses.
No, because you know what, the cigars I think are Richard Pace now, like trying so hard to look badass. That's not what we do. All right, let me put some rings on.
Well, that's why you get one that's already half smoked and not one that just looks like a big brown D.
And you need to get some pomade, dude, and slick your hair back.
This is a key from
Won't
Bates
take much.
Motel, right? That's the real key from Bates Motel.
Wow.
Yeah, prop was hanging up.
Could I
It was hanging up.
Could I push a book before I head out of the chat real quick?
Okay.
Fantastic. So it's actually the book that you pushed today, Ethan. It was Lair. It is man, I just really felt connected to this book, and I'll tell you why. I grew up reading these books by Frank Peretti, This Present Darkness. There were Christian horror books actually about demonic presences. And I'm telling you, this graphic novel really struck me. So anyone who actually reads, the Bible and can connect with those things, man, I'm telling you, Lair is probably a book that you'd really enjoy because he really touches on these things of demonic horror, and those things are actually real, and they touch our world in a dark way. And I just wanted to push him and his book. Man, it looks great. And I'm gonna have to jump out of the chat, but man, Gilly Writes Horror, I think, is his name on Twitter. I don't know, but Lair is his book. It's incredible, and I'm gonna head out.
Hey, Gateway, did you read the Ted Decker stuff?
Ted Decker, I did not. Was it good? I don't even know his name.
It was all right.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
That's what I was wondering.
Appreciate you. Appreciate your being here. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day.
Everyone support Lair. All right, I put some rings. Well, I put 2 rings on. I got a Green Lantern ring, by the way.
Going full European.
Yeah. Well, I don't have,
Since you're mostly using that one hand in the frame, put the Green Lantern ring on the pinky.
See, this is motivation to actually put on more weight.
Why?
Because then you look like a real slime ball, and you get big fat fingers, like your rings barely come off, and that cigar just barely fits in between your fingers.
Looking like a real slime ball.
Yeah. Gonna have to head back to the pie.
Yeah.
These are all encouraging things. I would like to do. I would like to do that. All right, so let me read some more of these. Muppy Heingart says, I don't read comics, but there's no significant ComicsGate counterpart in book publishing, so I'm with you guys. Put my money to good use, aka coffee. Thank you, Muppy. Mega Jetty 1 says, EVS, should I rework my Superman meets Myth and Mary Jane Goes to Hollywood ideas into my original story with similar pastiche characters? Yes, you should. That's what Alan Moore would do. Panboy Lando, Soy Child Dong Lover says, Mike has better hair than Fabio. Hashtag blame war campaign. Gonzo the Great says, love me some Ethan Van Skyler and Mitch Miller. Max Rebo says, check out Burlap to Kashmir Mike. Great band. Gil Rivera says, please check out my campaign Night Stalker. Oops. I just blew up the whole thing. Hold on. Night Stalker from Rev Comics, now on Indiegogo. First premiered on BHPR number 16, reviewed by EVS last month. Oh, that's Brutally Honest Portfolio Reviews. Yeah, that's great, Gil. Good for you. Bugnish Bachwinkle says they called them hurricane drills here. Yeah, hurricane. Mojo Nixon said Elvis is a perfect being. P.S. Elvis needs boats. Yeah, I used to like Mojo Nixon, and I agree with him. Elvis is perfect. Count Dracula says this stream is gay until Cecil gets on. Sorry. Why would it be gay until Cecil gets on? Surely you mean the other way around. But in any case, it is midnight. I'm getting back to work. I want to thank everyone who supports ComicsGate. I want to thank everyone who supports Mike S. Miller, John Malin, everyone who supports Donald DeLay, Brutus the Badass, everyone who supports Antonio Bryce's brand.
Yay! All right.
And I want everyone to subscribe to the Umbrella Guy. Are you getting your is your channel coming back? The other one?
No, I'm still in review for something else. I swear, man. No, I'm still I'm good though. It's all good.
Bad boy.
Yeah, it just tells you that you're making a lot of people mad.
That's the whole purpose of this.
Yep.
Again, SJW Spider-Man said one thing that was very interesting. He said, look, he's like, I turned Zach's channel into Reading Rainbow. That's as good as defeating it. And I was like, that's right. That's how they see it.
Butterfly in the sky.
So keep up the fight. You got to keep up the fight. Don't give these guys an edge. Don't give them what they want. Nathan Brendan Masters of Time Code Mechanics. Support him.
Please do.
And Sweetcast, back his channel. I think everybody's enjoyed Sweetcast today. His calming voice is persuasive. Yeah, I hope so. I thought you were great today. I thought you
Thanks.
were awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank
welcome
you.
back, Ethan.
And
All right, yeah. Normal me. I'm taking my glasses off. No more glasses. All right, guys. Everyone have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.
Hold up,
And
Ethan, when are we going to do the next Masterpiece Theater?
when do you want to do a Masterpiece Theater?
I don't know. Do you think we need Brian? He said he'd want to do it like maybe tomorrow night or Saturday, but I don't know what your schedule.
Yeah.
I
Well,
saw it. I saw it last one. That was hilarious.
Dude, it's
That
so
had me dying.
Masterpiece Theater, everyone. There's a couple episodes on Blacklist Universe if you want to go check them out. It's if you want to just laugh for a couple hours straight.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I'll tell you, the last one put me off of it. I could be honest with you. And I really think Nasser's a sick human being now.
oh,
Too much
Like, at first
vomit,
I thought it
right?
was all fun and games, but like that made me physically ill, and I wanted to punch Nasser. I've never wanted to punch a child before, but he's 21.
Wait,
You know?
which
The vomit.
which story was this? Was this the one where the girl was was it a girl who was in the insane asylum?
No, that was
that the last.
That was episode 1. Episode 2.
Oh, okay.
there's a
That
whole
one
lot
was
of vomit.
incompetent. This
Yeah.
one was evil. Like, so that is the thing about
Okay,
Nasser.
this one I haven't heard. I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I'm putting the link for Blacklist Universe.
I didn't get to see the second one when people were telling me that you said that I need to draw it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was recommending that everyone draw.
All right, guys, I'm out.
I mean, it's like I'm about to. Mike, I was about to close the show out.
He's taking the power away.
Mike, I was about to close the show out. You stopped me to talk about Nasser. I'm talking about Nasser like you wanted to, and then you leave early. Give me 2 seconds.
My daughter was bugging me about dinner, so it's
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna close out the show. Let's not stagger out like a bunch of hobos, like they said on Goodfellas. Let's all go together. All right, guys. Thanks everyone. See you tomorrow, and pay attention to Blacklist Universe for the next Masterpiece Theater. And I will talk to you then. Bye bye.